Have you ever met someone who seemed to have it all? Success, wealth, and confidence. Yet, their lifestyle didn't reflect it. They weren't driving the latest car, they wore plain clothes, and they never boasted about luxurious vacations or pricey shopping sprees. On the surface, they looked like they were just getting by, but something about them revealed they were anything but broke. Interestingly, many of the richest people in society live this way. They don't flaunt their wealth and they avoid spending on things that don't matter. But why is that? Why do some of the wealthiest individuals choose to appear modest when they could easily show off? More importantly, what lessons can you take from this mindset to build your own financial freedom? Let's dive in and uncover the habits of the ultra-wealthy that make them seem broke, and why adopting these same habits can be your path to financial independence. Before we begin, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss more insights like this. Let's get started. Number 1, they prioritize investments over spending. The truly wealthy understand that lasting wealth comes from investing, not spending. While many in the middle class use their income to upgrade their lifestyle, the rich take a different path. They put their money to work, whether through stocks, bonds, real estate, or building businesses. They channel their resources into opportunities that grow their wealth over time. Think about it. Investments generate passive income, which means their money continues to grow even when they aren't actively working. This is why the wealthy often appear modest. They're not wasting cash on things that lose value. Instead, they focus on making every dollar multiply. Most people see a paycheck and immediately think, what can I buy with this? The wealthy think, what can I invest in with this that will generate more paychecks? One mindset creates temporary satisfaction. The other creates permanent wealth. You can adopt this same mindset by trading short-term pleasures for long-term gains. Prioritize investments that pay off in the future, whether that's funding your retirement, buying property, or building a stock portfolio. The goal is simple. Let your money work for you instead of just spending it away. The principle here is transformative. Spending depletes wealth. Investing multiplies it. Every dollar spent is gone forever. Every dollar invested has the potential to become $10, $100, or $1,000 over time through compound growth. The wealthy look broke because they're constantly directing resources away from consumption and toward multiplication. Number 2, they don't waste money on status symbols. One of the clearest reasons the wealthy often appear broke is that they don't feel the need to chase status symbols. You won't usually find the richest individuals flaunting the newest luxury cars or dressing to show off their wealth. Instead, they value practicality over appearances. They know that real wealth isn't about showing what you own, it's about protecting and growing what you have. That's why many ultra-wealthy people drive older cars, shop at regular stores, and live in homes far more modest than what they can afford. They deliberately avoid lifestyle inflation. Just because they can buy something doesn't mean they will. Warren Buffett still lives in the house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Mark Zuckerberg drives a Honda Fit. These aren't accidents, they're deliberate choices. Most people use possessions to signal wealth they don't have. Designer bags on credit cards, luxury cars on 7-year loans, homes that consume 60% of their income. The wealthy, they could buy these things with cash, but they choose not to because they recognize the opportunity cost. You can apply this same principle by focusing on what truly improves your life rather than what impresses others. Spending on high-status items may give you short-lived satisfaction, but it often leads to unnecessary debt and slows your financial growth in the long run. The principle is counterintuitive but powerful. Real wealth whispers while fake wealth shouts. The loudest person in the room financially is often the brokest. The quietest is often the richest. Needing to prove your wealth to strangers is the surest sign you don't have any. Number 3, they focus on building passive income. One of the main reasons the wealthy often appear to live modestly is their focus on building multiple streams of passive income. Rather than depending solely on a salary or a single business, they grow their wealth through investments and assets that steadily generate returns over time. Passive income can come from many sources: rental properties, stock dividends, royalties, or online businesses that require minimal upkeep. These streams allow the rich to keep building wealth without constantly working. In fact, many prefer to let their investments compound quietly while maintaining a simple lifestyle. Think about the fundamental difference. Most people trade time for money. 1 hour worked equals 1 hour paid. The wealthy build systems where money generates money regardless of their time. They might be sleeping, traveling, or spending time with family, and their wealth continues growing. The middle class: I need to work more hours to make more money. The wealthy: I need to build more income streams that work without me. One approach has a ceiling, there are only so many hours in a day. The other approach is limitless. The lesson here is clear. Start creating your own passive income streams, whether through real estate, a side business, or an investment portfolio. The goal is to reduce your dependence on trading time for money. The more passive income you establish, the closer you'll move toward lasting financial independence. The principle is mathematical. Time is finite. Money can be infinite. Once you decouple income from time, you've achieved the fundamental shift that separates the wealthy from everyone else. The wealthy look broke because they're not spending their active income, they're living off passive streams that most people don't even see. Number 4, they avoid flashy purchases and lifestyle inflation. When most people get a raise, the first instinct is often to upgrade their lifestyle, buying a new car, moving into a bigger house, or splurging on designer clothes. But the wealthy take a different approach. They stay disciplined, avoiding purchases that don't support their long-term financial goals. This is how they escape the trap of lifestyle inflation, where every salary increase leads to higher unnecessary spending. For the truly rich, wealth isn't about showing off possessions, it's about gaining freedom. They're willing to maintain the same lifestyle even when they can afford more because they know lasting wealth requires sacrifice and discipline. Consider someone who earns $50,000 annually and lives on $40,000. They get promoted to $70,000. Most people immediately inflate their lifestyle to $70,000 or beyond. The wealthy, they continue living on $40,000 and invest the additional $30,000 year after year, creating an ever-widening gap between earnings and expenses. The middle class measures success by lifestyle upgrades, nicer car, bigger house, expensive vacations. The wealthy measure success by the gap between what they earn and what they spend, because that gap is their wealth-building engine. You can adopt this same mindset by resisting the urge to spend more each time your income rises. Instead, direct that extra money towards savings or investments. That way, you continue to grow your wealth while still living comfortably within your means. The principle is paradoxical. The more you can spend, the less you should. Income increases should widen your investment capacity, not your lifestyle expenses. The wealthy look broke because they deliberately choose to, even when every raise gives them permission to upgrade. Number 5, they stay focused on long-term goals. The wealthy don't let short-term pleasures derail their plans. Instead, they stay committed to their long-term financial goals, ensuring every choice they make supports their wealth-building strategy. While most people spend for immediate satisfaction, the rich think in terms of decades, not days. They know that real wealth isn't created overnight. It's the result of years of consistent saving, investing, and making smart financial decisions. Rather than chasing trends or temporary rewards, they focus on actions that will pay off in the future. Remember the famous marshmallow experiment? Children who could delay gratification, wait for 2 marshmallows instead of eating 1 immediately, had better life outcomes decades later. The wealthy are masters of the adult version. They can see a luxury purchase they could afford today and choose to invest that money instead, knowing it will become far more valuable in the future. Most people optimize for this month, this year, maybe the next few years. The wealthy optimize for the next 20, 30, 40 years. One perspective leads to a comfortable present and an uncertain future. The other leads to delayed gratification now and abundance later. You can follow this same principle by setting clear, long-term financial goals and staying disciplined even when temptations come up. Whether it's saving for retirement, investing in property, or building a business, keeping your eyes on the big picture is what leads to lasting wealth. The principle is exponential. Compound interest rewards patience more than anything else. $1 invested at 25 compounds for 40 years before retirement. $1 invested at 45 only compounds for 20 years. The wealthy look broke in their 20s, 30s, and 40s because they're playing a 40-year game while everyone else plays a 40-day game. Number 6, they don't let debt control them. One of the biggest differences in how the wealthy manage money is their approach to debt. They know how to use it strategically, but they avoid high-interest debt that can lead to a never-ending cycle of repayment. Many in the middle class rely on credit cards, car loans, or personal loans to sustain their lifestyle. The wealthy, however, understand that debt can either be a tool or a trap. Instead of borrowing to finance liabilities like cars or vacations, they use debt to acquire assets that generate income. For example, they might take out loans to buy real estate or invest in businesses, always ensuring that the debt they carry helps grow their wealth. A mortgage at 4% on a rental property generating 8% returns? That's strategic. A credit card balance at 22% to buy clothes? That's financial suicide. Most people use debt to buy things that lose value. Cars, electronics, vacations, clothes. The wealthy use debt to buy things that gain value. Real estate, businesses, income generating assets. One approach makes you poorer with every payment, the other makes you richer. You can apply this by eliminating high-interest debt like credit cards and focusing only on using debt for productive wealth-building purposes. The principle is leverage. Debt amplifies outcomes, good or bad. Bad debt on depreciating assets amplifies poverty. Good debt on appreciating assets amplifies wealth. The wealthy look broke because they refuse to borrow for consumption, the very thing most people think debt is for. Number 7, they keep their financial moves quiet. Another reason the truly wealthy often seem broke is because they keep their financial moves private. They don't brag about their income, assets, or recent wins. While many people showcase their lifestyle on social media, the rich choose discretion. They know that openly discussing money can attract unwanted attention, unsolicited opinions, or even envy. Instead, they quietly grow their wealth and focus on long-term security without seeking validation from others. There's a strategic reason for this silence. The moment people know you have money, expectations change. Family members start asking for loans. Friends expect you to always pick up the check. Business associates assume you can be charged more. Privacy protects both your wealth and your relationships. The middle class posts every purchase, every vacation, every upgrade, seeking validation through likes and comments. The wealthy buy a rental property that generates $5,000 monthly and tell nobody. One approach broadcasts consumption. The other accumulates wealth silently. You can apply this same principle by taking a low-key approach to your finances. Avoid comparing yourself to others and keep your wealth-building strategies to yourself. The less attention you draw, the more freedom and control you'll have over your financial journey. The principle is protective. Invisibility is a strategic advantage. The best investment is the one nobody knows about. The best wealth is the kind that doesn't change how others treat you. The wealthy look broke because they deliberately maintain that appearance to preserve their freedom and privacy. And number 8, they don't need validation from others. Truly wealthy individuals don't seek validation or approval from others. They don't buy designer clothes or luxury cars just to impress. Instead, they're secure in their success and have no need to showcase their wealth. Their confidence comes from within, not from external opinions. This mindset helps them avoid wasteful spending and make choices guided by their values rather than society's expectations. For the rich, financial independence and personal freedom matter far more than appearances. Think about what this reveals. The person who needs to prove they're wealthy isn't. The person who feels no need to prove anything, that's when you know they've truly made it. Insecurity drives consumption. Security allows restraint. Most people's spending decisions are driven by what will others think. The wealthy's spending decisions are driven by, does this serve my goals? One approach makes others happy while keeping you broke. The other builds wealth while being misunderstood. If you want to build wealth the same way, start by defining success on your own terms. Live by your standards, not by the pressure to keep up, and let your money serve your goals, not other people's perceptions. The principle is liberating. True wealth is having nothing to prove. The moment you stop caring what others think about your money, you're free to build it without the anchor of social expectations. The wealthy look broke because they've transcended the need for financial validation, the very thing that keeps most people spending to impress. The truly wealthy don't act broke because they lack money. They act that way because they know how to manage it wisely. They don't feel the need to flaunt their wealth or spend on things that don't bring real value. Instead, they prioritize long-term strategies, avoid unnecessary debt, and make sure their money is always working for them. Let's recap the 8 habits. 1. They prioritize investments over spending money works for them. 2. They avoid status symbols, practicality over appearances. 3. They build passive income, wealth grows without their time. 4. They resist lifestyle inflation, same lifestyle, growing wealth. 5. They focus on long-term goals, decades, not days. 6. They use debt strategically, lever for assets, never for consumption. 7. They keep moves quiet, privacy protects wealth. 8. They need no validation, internal confidence, not external approval. By following these same habits, you can quietly build wealth, live comfortably, and move closer to financial freedom. The richest individuals don't waste time chasing trends or material possessions. They stay focused on their long-term goals and personal growth. You can do the same. Remember, it's not about looking rich, it's about becoming financially free. Which of these 8 habits resonated most with you? Drop a number 1 through 8 in the comments. And if you found this valuable, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights on building real wealth. The wealthy look broke because they're playing a different game, one focused on freedom, not flash. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.